And as we start today, aren't we here at interesting times indeed? But they really wanted to start today as celebration. For 3 months of showing up to this and of showing up to you, of celebrating and expanding. Because as you and I both know, none of this is easy. Probably the opposite. Great challenges. And as we gather today, what they want us to recognize is we might be the culmination of this journey, but it's not the end. How could it possibly be? And specifically today, we've got a lot of keys that are being dropped in. And these keys won't necessarily be explained today, won't necessarily be understood, maybe for years. And that's okay. But there's, oh, that's sweet. Thanks. She says that we're leaving this star field of Dream School really well populated for you to come back anytime and to find even more keys for when you're ready to open them and harvest them. I know I have on my notes, celebrate, woohoo! So would you certainly just take a moment celebrating you in this wild, mysterious, challenging, blissful journey that you've been on. And of course we will have our closing ceremony, but as we go into crown, well, this is certainly cause for celebration, and certainly in the way that it's been coming in. So the first thing we want to remind you today is that you may never master crown in this body. That's cool. It's okay. I don't want you to feel like this is a goal. Oh, because it's not. Because as we've been working with the elements, with the Sekkers, they're forces of nature. And this force of nature, you've probably been feeling it getting really turned on, tuned in within the last couple of days. And if not yet, certainly beyond this. The initiation today takes us even farther beyond this reality. The culmination of your journey as shaman in Dream School. And we get to play today in the cosmic reality. In those cosmic oceans of bliss, where real things happen. Because the challenge is we get caught in this world thinking it's real. And if you're here with us live today, we are in this Syrian gateway. We'll be working with that specifically at the end. So the totality of today will be evergreen. We'll be here for whenever you need it, for that Syrian activation. Regardless of when you're watching, I want you to go through it. But if you're live here today, well, didn't they have this little curveball in there for us? Had no idea. Had no idea. So with that said, we're moving into cosmic wisdom. The wound and the wisdom today will be of equal magnitude and of great significance. The wound, as we begin personally, oh, that's so good. The wound is thinking that this world is real. Nadia will talk about the wear and tear on a human body that occurs. We age because we are stuck in this field of karmic consequences, in this field of Akasa, this Akashic reality. And that's what causes the suffering. It's what causes the aging. It what depletes us. We're going to be having lots of tools in here today, but one of them is how to stay awake, which some of you may have done before. We suffer because we're trapped in the illusion. Well, not us. The rest of them, perhaps. But I want to kind of start. Let's start there. So that's much gentler than I had in mind. We're going to do a little bit of drumming. Because the way they have it set up for us today want you to drop down into your inner earth temple first. Digging your toes into the deepest, darkest dirt, the lowest spaces of your inner earth temple. And let that dirt be black. And setting from here, your throne. Ooh. Not quite at a jed yet. Let's just set this throne for now, allowing yourself from wherever you've been to arrive here now, knowing that these galactic forces, they're already beginning to culminate and call us up. And with your feet in that black, thick, luscious dirt, open these channels. Let it feed through you, through the mycelial network, whatever comes in today that is a blessing, that is an awakening, and aha. And in this way, I want you to deepen your breath now. Giving thanks to the mystery. Giving thanks to the blackest of the black. Giving thanks to these keys that will open and blossom for you in exactly the right time. And rising up from that black into your temple now, please. Writing anything. Cute. Writing, not writing. Not writing. Nope. I know those energies want to pull us up. I want you to very consciously stay here so that the highest reaches that we touch today are also being fed into the deepest reaches. The most ancient and forgotten of places on this planet, of Gaia. Ooh, yeah. There's some, I see that dust and bones type of energy coming up from all of your past lives as well. Feed that energy through. Akasa. Thank you. And in this moment, they say, let yourself be hollow. Being underneath reality. Coming back into present awareness, settling yourself wherever feels right. As we jump right in with what Olga will call the purpose of life. Ready? The purpose of life is to pass through the Akasa. That's it. You're a carrier of information, of knowledge, of wisdom, to transfer the experiences that you have, the experiences that you have in formation of this human, to your eternal light body of the Ku. Yeah, is that all? To transfer the physical experiences, what you've gained here, the knowledge, the pain, the happiness, the joy, the suckiness, to your immortal self. And in this way, we tell the galaxy, like, hey, here's what's going on here on Earth. Here's what's going on. I was listening to Kaipacha yesterday, and he was talking in some way that all of a sudden things clicked together. And like Earth, yes, we're on the planet Earth, the planet that passes through the solar system. And what's the very first element that we work with? It's Earth. We are of this Earth. We are on this Earth. We work with the element of Earth so that we can transfer all of her gifts to the cosmos and to the galaxies. So death then, great, purpose of life. Let's get this information transferred up. Death is the completion of your transfer. Everything's been transferred over. Your immortal self has everything. Nothing else here to do. And then you get to transplant into another reality. Cool. Thank you. We can say that's, thank you, Olga. Thank you, Nadia. In the most easy of ways, informative. I teach, live, breathe, get excited by transferring it to another reality, creating new worlds, being able to take what we've done here and bring it somewhere else. So I want you to breathe today through crown or through third eye. If you can breathe through your feet, through that black earth, down underneath your inner temple. Let's go ahead and set that jed now. So woo. And hopefully if you've been doing this daily, there's always something new to learn. There's always stability to be gained. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Nadia is also celebrating that as you've been setting your jed on the daily, or as often as you desire or remember, you're strengthening yourself each time. You're coming more into your power, more into your sovereignty, more into your light, more into your boundaries, more into your fuck yes and hell no's. Ong Sa. Ong Sa. Good. And with that jed stabilized, allowing some of that joy to begin to coalesce. Those experiences of you that blow your mind and bring you into ultimate harmony. Feeding that to the Sa with an Ong Sa. Ong Sa. Ong Sa. Ong Sa, and letting it pierce through your crown and cascade out of you in these rippling, blissful motions. Ong Sa. Ong Sa. Ong Sa. Allowing it to pool around you, calling the netters forward to drink from your blissful, gorgeous nectar. Ong Sa. Ong Sa. And they want you to amp it up now. Do bigger, joy. Do bigger than you've ever done before now. Ong Sa. Ong Sa. Each time it gets big, Ong Sa, letting it move through you in undulations of pure joy. Ong Sa. Ong Sa, holding nothing back. Ong Sa. Woo! Ong Sa. Ong Sa. So knowing that death is just the transfer of information, the completion of the transfer, we need links back to that ocean of joy, to that unseparated, undifferentiated wholeness of pure energy itself. It's the point of the mysteries, point of the mystery school. It's to remember that's real, to anchor it here, so you never get too stuck in thinking this is it. So the intention of our mystery school, of this Osirian mystery school, is not only to build the links back, as we have been doing by turning on each of these temples within us, but it's to stay conscious through death. And I will say, without apology, those are not the things that we teach here in Dream School. Those are things that are more mysteries to be uncovered. But we have, hopefully, turned on these things for you to remember your way home and to remember what truth is and not to get caught in the drama that they want you caught in here. Ma'at would be a lovely netter to be working with. She's beyond reality. She's beyond conception. Ma'at, absolute truth outside of Good. And with that, I'm going to call forth now the voice of the lineage.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
So we honor the lineage. We honor Andy Murphy. We honor Margie Mulligan. We honor Nadia K. Eagles. We honor Countess Olga von Laskow. We honor Taranaganza. And we honor Nefru the Benevolent. We honor them for keeping the lineage alive. We honor them for bringing the mysteries forward. We also honor and protect the lineage. We also honor and protect the mysteries. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Long Star.
Long saw. And I'll thank you, Marilyn, for being the voice of the lineage here for us throughout this journey. It's funny, as we were in there today, it was the Nefru who kind of pulled my attention. So recognize that you always have access to this lineage, to the keepers. And anything that is not solvable or explained here, you can go to them and ask. You have the keys, you've been initiated. And if the ask, they say, is wholesome and sincere, they'll point you to the doorways. Oh, so this cosmic ocean of bliss, shall we be initiated there? The word, Hunan Edi. Hunan Edi. Hunan Edi. Which initial translation is ascension. It's the inseparability of all things. Hunan Edi. It's the process of learning through living. Hunan Edi. It also means to end with ease. Hunan Edi. We want to pay attention to that D. Oh, thanks. Yeah, come on into your root with a D. D. We're going to be working a lot with D today because we are elevating D. D. D, as you know, is earth. D. That gold. D. 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 Ooh, yeah, let that D radiate through all of your jed, through all of your bodies. D. And come into silence with it, continuing to let it radiate and work within. Because D also means now. To be in that total field of now, to be only here, gives you omnipotence, gives you total power. No story, nothing forward, nothing behind you, right here, D. Hunanidi. When you can remember how to be so presently and radically here. Hey, cosmic oceans of bliss. D. 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 And maybe even lengthening that D into that dirt, that black earth way underneath you. D. Ooh, D. Yeah, it wants to stir. There certainly feels like there's something there that's trying to be communicated to you, but like the information wants to move through you, allowing yourself to be a pillar through which some of these things can move. We'll get there in just a second. Do we want to get there now? No, let's do this, you guys. Let's do this. Okay, so as we take this final step in our journey, that of the Shenka, remembering that these are the circuits of eternity. We're learning not only to link these circuits of eternity, we're learning how to use these sekers for timeless energies, for purposes beyond the 3D, beyond the carbon-based. And finally, our alchemy. Woo! You want to see what we got going on for alchemy? Because this one came in really sweet, y'all. So in our alchemy, we've been working with these forces of matter. The second, the way that spirit and matter come into each other as the Shenka. And last night, as I was on my walk and getting everything ready, I kind of sat with this question of, we've been charging up. But what the fuck have we been charging up for? So would you give yourself just a moment to sit in that question? What indeed have we been charging up for? Lao no kuku. Good, and allowing that third eye, that akasa, as we've been going through this alchemical process, taking the earth and taking the matter, taking the D, cleansing it and purifying it through those waters of the Ganusa, creative potential and great love. Meeting with the Maum as it sparks to life through the Ket, through your fires. Billowing up through that Mersef and that purification into the saw of your heart, freeing you, in theory, from this reality and anchoring into you cosmic consciousness. Through the throat, we begin to speak our truth, requiring that presence in each moment of compassion, each moment of healing, everything that's being worked through, and all of these sekers charging up, charging up, charging up until they ignite at third eye with the akasa. She gives us vision of all, vision of truth, vision of true reality. We can see through the bullshit. We turn on all of our faculties that are beyond explanation. We tap into our star powers again. And as we come up to the crown, you know a truth outside of consensual reality. You can move and direct your all-knowing self. It feels like the command center. This energy that just got activated outside of this reality that is still here in this body, that allows you not only the omnipotence, but with all of these sekers charged, you know yourself as a cosmic force, as a force of nature. This command center will be where you transfer information out through. It will be how you direct this body and this form to stay in formation. It's like the escape hatch. You've charged up the rocket ship of you, honey. And now you get total joy, total choice, total sovereignty to recognize what you want to do with it. Drop that akasa, that cosmic awareness here in crown, down into root, please. The word that wants to come through, some of you might know, is oust. 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 Where that akasa turns on even within your root. Oust. Breathing again through crown or third eye. Don't drop the breath down. Oust. 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 Which means throne. Of course your throne's been turned on. Oust. Oust. That lovely alchemy that we've all been playing in. Lukunuku. You should feel lightheaded today. If you do, it's okay. I don't want you trying to tap anything down today, please. Give it permission to all expand as long as it feels safe for you in your body today. Because we are working in fields of even greater truth, in this place of truly omnipotence and God beingness. That's crown. One of my favorite lines is also from Olga, which is, be a good dragon rider. We'll get to that when we get to Sirius. We'll be doing a Sirius activation here at the end. But to be a good dragon rider means that you're riding through the waves of this Akashic reality, remembering that it's not real because you're something so much bigger. Keep breathing through here. And as soon as something awful comes into your reality, you know how to just ride with it different. It's not terrible. It's not a tragedy. Oust. Oust. Oust akasa. Oust akasa. Be a good dragon rider. I certainly think in our present reality, you could see all of these things that seemingly are tragic or hardships. They're going to spark innovations. They're going to spark a need for people to respond differently. Cool. Stay in touch with that thing. Don't get caught in the web of where they want to direct you and limit and steal your power. Oust! 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 So in order to transfer information out, anyone know what's coming next? Shakati, 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 Shakati. Shakati is what I want you to begin doing. If you have the ability right now to jump on the shaka, T is going to come here. Shakati, 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 Shakati. Shakati, 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 Shakati. And as you can feel all of this energy going through you, holy shit, Shakati, 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 Shakati. This is the energy that wakes us up. Shakati, 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 Shakati. And you can hear with that T, the D, the ta, same energy right in there, because we're taking all of this shaka and we're bringing it down into the T. Shakati, Shakati, Shakati. But what we're actually doing is we're transferring all of the stuckness out of you, out through crown, handing it over to the Ku. The Ku is your light body. The Ku is your immortal self. If you follow William Henry et al., the radiant light body that is your true body. Ku. Not only is Shakati necessary to get this information out of you, keeping you clear, not letting any of the stuckness stay stuck. The Shakati also allows you to tap into another source of energy that is not on this plane. Shakati, Shakati, Shakati. I was doing some Shakati underneath that Sirius axis last night. Shakati, 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 Shakati. I was actually jumping then, a little easier for me to do, and I'm not sitting here with you. Shakati translates death here, death now. Shakati, 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 Shakati. Get it all out. Get it all out. None of this is real. Get it all out. The other request that came through with Shakati is you can clear massive amounts of collective energy and family lineage and karma. Shakati, 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 Shakati. If you're with family and things are feeling sticky, Shakati, Shakati, Shakati. If you're in a place where there's lots of fear, Shakati, 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 Shakati. Transfer it out. The funny way they've been talking about it is like transfer all of the experiences that you have had to the backup drive of your Ku. You don't need to keep it on your hard drive. You got other stuff to be doing. There's stuff to come in. We want to have new and fresh experiences. We don't want to have anything that's like, oh yeah, I've done that before. It was terrible. No, you haven't. Shakati, Shakati, Shakati. Everything is new. Everything is here waiting to engage with you and play with you and delight with you. To have an authentic one-on-one experience of intimacy and reality that you've never known before in these cosmic oceans of bliss, Hunaniti. Oh, Shakati, Shakati, Shakati. And even as I feel you guys doing it, like there's a lot of energy that's going on in here. The Shakati energy, truly, like, thank you. Nadia reminds us, it's really hard to stay awake all the time. I've certainly experienced that. That's what Netflix is for. Really hard to stay awake. And we can judge ourselves for that, or we can recognize there's probably a whole bunch of shit that needs to be transferred up to that coup. Shakati, shakati. Anytime that we use the cows, we're tapping into something outside of this reality to give us energy here. Doesn't make sense. Shakati, shakati, shakati. There are other sources of energy that are available to us that not everybody is using, so they're pretty good in that way. Oh, look, I had a note on the coup. The coup is really... Let me see if I can... The coup turns on a form of circuitry that is real. I have... the coup is one of the forms of the light body. I think the coup... Egyptians do a 10-body system. The coup is one of those. Coup might actually also be one of the 14 star powers. I know, I would say that with 98% accuracy. I think it's one of the 14 star powers as well. It's your true body. It's your light body. It's your forever body. Reminds you what is real. I know, we'll get into that a little bit later because we got some good stuff. The coup has 3 or 4 hieroglyphs that I know of. One of them is tattooed on my body. The magical body. It got tattooed on here before I necessarily knew what it meant, so we just keep learning and activating in that way. Whew! So I'm going to take a sip of water, and what we're going to do now... If you need to do some shaka tea before we come back into some stillness. Stillness. Oh, sounded like Buffalo Bill there. Oh, I heard. They want something like a bass drum. I don't know what you guys want. See? Cool, no, cool. Not it. Okay. With your jet already set. Oh, that's cute. That's trickier, you guys. Okay. They want you to put your hands on your heart, finding your own heartbeat. Tapping to your own rhythm of your own heart. If that feels like a snap, if that feels like a tap, if it's a hand clap. Find your rhythm, babe. As we go into the Jed. And I want you to just be in this waking body now. And we're going to take that Jed like an elevator up into crown. To have a direct experience of the planetarium that is your crown, Shenka. I don't want you trying to understand anything. Just witnessing the vastness. And you will feel up here perhaps a very natural tendency to hop out of this body and into the stars. To get into another reality. I'm going to ask you not to quite yet. If there's any information that needs to be transmitted to you now. Any gifts that want to be turned on. Any lenses or screens that need to be cleaned. Clean those windows, boo. And every once in a while, just wiggle your toes in that black, black earth way down there. Letting all of this potentiality of you, of all humans, Hunanidi, pathways out of the suffering, be given to Gaia, the mycelial network, the crystals, plants, the viruses, the bacteria. Show them what's possible. Show them what's true. Good. Drop down into heart now, please. Rising up energy to heart from wherever you've been. As we talk a little bit more about the akasa. Because the seker of both the third eye and crown is the akasa. And where, when we worked last time together, that akasa was a little bit elusive. Well, hopefully you've been working with it. It's revealing itself. You're learning it through living. Of course. I'll remind you of Nadia's words. All mental waves are emptied out, and the void of fullness and probability shines forth through the akasa. Akasa. In that deep purple of the akasa, that deep purple is the deep yin, the dark goddess, the feminine. It's that black which is under all of creation. The gold flecks is what we're going to call the akasasa. Akasasa. It's the realized potential, the akasasa. It's the true heart of the akasasa. Absolute truth that can rarely be comprehended as long as you're in a body akasasa. A truth that is beyond judgment, a truth that is beyond comfort or discomfort, a truth that is all pervading, akasasa. Thanks. Nadia cautions us here. The akasasa is still going to be the matter and the ether that creates things. It's not the truth. We can access that truth through the akasasa. The akasasa is not that truth. Thanks. The akasasa, force, element, seker, akasasa. So let's go back to our Jed now. We've had an experience there at crown. We're going to go and set this and turn on the akasasa here at crown. Heard. What would you like? Not it. Heard. Woo. God, none of them. Fine. So this will be our big, luscious activation of our crown Shenka. And you can feel right away the energies kind of just want to draw you up there. I think that's okay. If there's anything that you would like to set or go through more methodically, please do as you do. This energy just is ready to engage with you. Aka sa sa. Good. Setting that temple of Aka sa sa here at your crown. Thank you. If it would like to turn on pineal or pituitary or any of the other glands or spine, anything it would like to do to put you in higher alignment, optimal and safest alignment, ask it to do that now. Akasasa. 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 Do practice it as the shape of the egg. That will give it just a little finite droplet to play in. Akasasa. 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 You might use that akasasa as a lens to peer through other realities. Ask for that truth, that purest droplet of essence to be shown to you. Akasasa. Oh, that still point of the akasa. Thank you. Don't try to go into your records through here quite yet. Stay here. Take command of this body. Celebrate the magnificence of what you're capable. Akasasa. You don't have to go anywhere to do this, akasasa. 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 If there's any of those droplets of black, those flecks of gold that need to be dispersed anywhere else within your body, no. And they are very clear. There is no netter up here but you. Akasasa. 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 Good. Permission now to leave through here up into your dreaming temple through the Jed. If you're already there, that's great. If you're ready to go, pierce through. Feeling those stars underneath you as you find the heart of Akasasa here in your dreaming temple. This temple of your coup. temple of your true self, your God self. Allow yourself to be celebrated, my love. To ask and dream in bigger than you could even imagine possible. More joy, more success, more good sex, more dancing, more swimming under the stars, more being celebrated for the divine essence that you are. Akasasa. Another good opportunity. Ong your name Sa. Akasasa. Ong your name Sa. Akasasa. Oh, and if there's any parts of you that feel bad for feeling so good, give them a little droplet of that gold. Give them a little droplet of that black. Because it's all the same. Ong your name Sa Akasasa. Good, I want you to drop down now. Through your Jed. Down through waking body. Into inner earth temple. If there's anything that needs to be adjusted, turned on, tuned in there with Akasasa, please do. But I really want you to drop this Akasasa down into that black dirt underneath your feet. Give the Akasasa back to Gaia. For you, my love, the enlightened coup that you are, remember what is real and true. Remind her that you know too. That you're here for it, Akasasa. Let this truth of Hunanidi, of an Akashic, cosmic, blissful reality, ripple out through the collective to those who are ready to receive. It's waves of hope, possibility, safety, optimism, innovation. Akasasa. Akasasa. Allowing yourself to rise back into your body. Calling all aspects of you into present awareness, into the D, into the now, to the joy and the bliss of the now, to the immortality of this moment, of this time now. If you'd like to make some notes, good idea. What I heard once we got up to that dreaming temple, they said without us doing this work, the Akasai would have no gold flecks. That's just not the work of the mystery schools, but all of the work that we do to heal and to honor and to find the light in the shadows, to find the shadows in the light. altered would be absolutely right for a while today. We've still got a few things to do, so it's going to go longer than usual. If you need to leave at any point in time, just please leave either before we're starting an initiation or after, not in between. We don't want to leave you out there stuck anywhere, please. Because the cautions that we're going to talk about, we've been talking, of course, about the wisdom and the wound. I think you understand the wisdom pretty well of what happens here at Crown. The wound and the caution that we want to give you first is when you start accessing Akasa through the crown, the Akasa, your body could start trembling. And the way that Nadia said it, trembling like when you're in love. You know, whenever you're first in love and like you don't eat and you're all shaky and quaky and feel really weak and excited, that would be the energy that you might encounter. It's okay. But your brain is like, there's something wrong. There's nothing wrong. You're being upgraded because this Jed of you, this tuning fork that you are, is able to carry very different frequencies than you were 3 months ago, 3 weeks ago, 3 days ago. So the trembling is an attunement, a setting right, turning something on the right way. We're going to talk about the collective implications of this wound, of people having access to the mysteries that should not have access to the mysteries. So the personal version of this, if you share something in here that should not be shared, you will have a sense of loss and grief. Hurt. It will be taken away from you. You will no longer have access to that magic. That's harsh. Olga's nodding her head at me like that severity is accurate. Okay. And that sense of loss that you will have will also be that place where you're like, I shouldn't have done that. Cool. You'll learn from that. So don't panic about that. But even as I have been doing more sharing of the cows, I have that moment. I'm like, ooh, should I have not shared that? Did I share too much? And they're like, do you feel the loss? Do you feel the grief? Nope. Cool. So you'll also learn from that what the threshold is. We don't share because we're trying to hide the secrets and protect and covet them. We hide them because not everybody is ready and it could hurt them. And can we just imagine a reality in which these keys get into the wrong hands? I'll give you 4 letters. CERN. What happens when these keys get into the wrong hands? What happens when there are beings who try to use these forces with power instead of knowing themselves from within? This is why it's been so tremendously protected, secretive, hidden. Because we don't want another Atlantis. We don't want another Marduk. So there is rampant opportunity to abuse the wisdoms, abuse the powers, abuse the forces that we share here. We're going to talk about this a couple of ways today because I think the CERN is worth noting. For those of you who are not on with us live, CERN was just turned back on, a God particle, at a higher vibration and with more power than it has before. I'm not too into it, so this is not a judgment on good or bad. I'm just going to share a little bit of like what seems to be coming forward. So this power versus force thing. They have power and they have forces. They have forces that are trying to collide together to create matter in tiny, tiny fractions of things. We have been learning the power from within. We know that we are the elements. Ganusa mesa sahustarimba ganusa ganusa mesa sahustarimba ganusa. We have been initiated to turn on and to work with these forces of nature. We understand ourselves to be one with these forces of nature, so we don't abuse them. These little goobers don't know that. They're playing with things from the outside, and in that regard, I'm not too terribly concerned because I don't have a fucking clue what they're doing. Are they playing with forces of nature? Sure. Are they going to destroy the planet with it? Probably not. They going to open up portals? Maybe. If they do, we'll just like, we got it, hold up, clean up crew. We become the new Avengers. Fair? Cool. Thanks. I call Thor. I call Avengers Thor, maybe not that Thor, because he's a little harsh for me at times. And he smells like that. Thor doesn't shower much. So CERN is doing this thing where they're making matters. They're trying to make matter. Let's say that. They're playing with power and force, and they have no soul and no spirit to what they are doing, which is why it won't work. We've learned the other way. And as I sat with this a little bit, and as we pinged with a few of you yesterday, oh my God, they just turned that on. Guess what else just got turned on? You did. You did. Cool. Science is going from the outside in, trying to use power to affect forces of nature. Cool. I'm a fucking force of nature. I will use my sovereign power to affect nature because I know that it's all of this, and I know that it's love. They don't have gnosis. They don't have wisdom. They don't have a direct experience of. They just have egg-shaped brains, and they're trying to do things. From Nadia in Crown, matter is the densest of all, which is black. The black carries the deepest secrets, which is the information of the stars. They're trying to access something. They don't know what they're trying to access because they don't have wisdom. Cool. I'm going to go one other place today, and if this makes you uncomfortable, akasa. Get out of the discomfort. Because the other thing that we can recognize is going on in our world right now, transhumanism, AI. This will be part of William Henry's work, which is we have an entire world that thinks this is real and that this is reality. We have an ascension going on of a planetary nature. Everybody is going to be getting to crown and trying to move to the next level of reality. Great. With transhumanism, they will have bodies where they're like, just upload it here and go over here. See what they're trying to do? Go over here and we will... We, on the other hand, who are awake and aware and initiated, we're like, I'm going to my fucking coup. Like, fuck off. I'm going to my own divine vessel, not one that you've manufactured for me. And in quite literal ways, this is kind of what they're playing with. I don't know how wise they are to know what the scope of the game is, but the necessity of us having clean pathways back to truth, akasa, sa, to the realms of Ma'at. These are big stakes right now, y'all. Audi, if you did your activation with Golden Sekhmet, she'll help. Help you navigate through this. Yeah, anything else that wants to be said there? No. They wanted to make sure we talked about the transhumanism and a false reality that is being created because this is... Thanks. It will happen. Don't let yourself get caught in it. Fair? It will happen. Okay. So we can hear that. Thanks. I'm going to drink some water. Drink some water on that. Mm-hmm. Because we have the antidote. You know what the antidote is? It is you. And that's about as much as I'm going to sing. You're the antidote. You who knows, you who remembers, you who's turned on, you who through your vibrant Akashic field affects the feel-goods of others that turn them on as well. I don't need you proselytizing, I don't need you warning people, I don't need you spreading any fear at all. No, no, no! They'll recognize Aspire Radiance. There's a golden egg that appears at the beginning of every news cycle. Hey, news cycle. Hey, Sirius. Akasa is in the blood. It's the place of your nascent godhood, and everybody has it. Cute. Most everybody has it. There are some NPCs out there. Not every human is human, but for the most part, more beings than not have the blood of their godhood inside of them. The seed, the akasa, the thing that will get them home. Thank you. I will also say, because it came up this week, I don't need you to be frightened about any forces or, let's yet not use the word forces. I don't need you to be concerned about any agencies coming after you. Fuck no. If you are, Ong Akasa. Ong Akasa. They can't find us. They don't think we exist. They wouldn't believe us if we did, because they think they're the only, narcissists. They think they're the only ones who know anything at all. So, Akasa, Ong Akasa, Ong Akasa. You have been turned on today, my love. Ong Akasa. So we're gonna do Shanai Kino Kunuku Shnai Kiki Yao Nuku. Yep, we're gonna be doing this as our closing today. This cosmic egg, the cosmic egg that shows up at the beginning of every cycle. The Sirius star system is also shaped like what? An egg? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So we're going to be working with the Akasa just a little bit more today, and then we're going to close out with a journey out into Sirius to see if there's anything we need out there. Akasa, the threads of the void. All right, we've been playing with that. Even as you say it, you can feel those snakes turn on a little bit. You want to go there? I heard you guys. So shono kushna ikia nani au kuno kurno kushni ikia kiki shono kusno kushna. So the egg is the Akasa. Serpent is the Aka. The snakes. The Aka, the sticky substance. Just one other piece on Aka as it came up for me this week. Aka is, the sex fluids. It is also candida. Think of sticky substances in your body, phlegm, etc. These are the densest, the oldest, the purest forms of water that sometimes need to be cleansed. Aka. Sa. Sa is the sanctuary of power of the serpent netter Sathis. So would you just chant Sathis for a second? Or Sa this. Sa this. Egyptians, the H is silent. Sa tis. Sa tis. Sat. Oh, I see you. Sat is. That's what she wants. Sat is. Sat is. Sat is. Ooh. Sat is. Sat is. A reminder that the Akasa is the threads of the void from Sept, which is Sirius. Sat is. The name Sat is. It's the Syrian name of Isis. Sat is. Sat is. Sat is. Ooh, I heard you, lady. We're going to get that going in just a second. I want to make sure you have everything you need before we do this Sirius activation, aligning on this Sirius gateway. You might also see the name of Sodep at times. I want Sodep to be the masculine energy of this. Sodep, the dog star. Sirius star system is 3 stars. Sirius A, B, and C, shaped like an egg, that star system. The biggest one, Sirius A, Sat is. Sat is the cosmic mother energy. There's a tiny little star that is the C, Neberture, her twin sister. And then there's Sodep, the dog star. For our purposes, Sept is the name of Sirius. So we can work with this Hakao if it feels right to you today. Aminu Sept Sa. Aminu Sept Sa. Or you could work with an Ong Sat Is. Ong Sat Is. Aminu Sept Sa. And before we go up here to Sirius, to Sept, I'm going to bring in Lynette, who Dina has turned me on to. She was saying with this Syrian activation, new neural pathways in the brain for accessing past life knowledge of Egypt, Lemuria, and Atlantis. Through this Syrian gateway, we will also be able to have access to new ways, an amplified ability to create heaven on earth, my words, not hers, because we will remember the innovations. We will see through it. And if you're ready, my love, you know what? Hi, Likinokuku. Before we go up, I want you to do some shakati, 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 shakati. Let's move this energy, move anything out that got stirred up so that we are a very purified and clean vessel to go up here and partner with Sirius today. Shakati, 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 shakati. Transfer all this out to your hard drive, baby. Shakati, 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 shakati. Good. And just noticing the space that makes in your body. You got more resources, got more energy to go where and what you want. Oh, I know. They want total silence for this. I agree, y'all. So I'm going to settle in. I'm going to ask you to do the same. Stay with me, please, because going out to a galactic star system, well, you know, we've learned a lot of things here. Coming into your Jed. I want you to come there into your throne, into your oust. 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 This is the throne of Isis. Oust. The throne of Sat. Is. Sat. Is. Sat. Is. And before we go anywhere, just maybe letting those Syrian energies come to you. Ong Sat. Is. Aminu Sept Sa. Whichever one feels right. Invite those snakes of Akasa to come down from Sept, to activate here in your body at the oust. Thank you. A reminder, do only as is comfortable for you. If it gets freaky or uncomfortable, please stop. Finding the breath, finding the rhythm, finding the undulations. Woo. And as that begins to strike there in the center of your oust, I want you to drop down into Inner Earth Temple, wiggling your toes in that blackest of black Akasa. Good, good. And then I want you to ride one of those snake waves all the way up through you, all the way up through your dreaming temple, through that crown, riding those waves directly back to Sept. Aminu Sept Sa. 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 If your body freaks out, reminding your body it's safe. Aminu Sept Sa. Aminu Sept Sa. Aminu Sept Sa. And here on Sirius, I want you to experience elements first. You know them. Engage your senses. What do you smell? What do you touch? What do you see? Sahu suhu sihu sa. Sahu sihu suhu sa. Use your senses in this unfamiliar landscape to begin to explore. Sahu sihu suhu sa. Sahu sihu suhu sa. Sahu sihu suhu sa. Sahu sihu suhu sa. Recognizing that your senses are the elements, are the forces, are the powers. Sahu sihu suhu sa. Sahu sihu suhu sa. And as you begin to take some semblance of form here, you've been called here for something. Ask them to give or share with you now what gifts and blessings they have. Oh, yeah, let it come into your Ku body. Don't try to send it back to your human body yet. We're practicing other ways out here. Don't try to remember. Just be, feel, and receive. Thank you. And remember your sovereign power. If it's coming in too fast, too hard, too much, tell them to slow it down. If it's not enough, tell them to amp it up. Sahu sihu suhu sa. 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 Good. I want you to gently start riding those waves of the snake back to earth. Closing out whatever you're doing there, thanking with whomever you've been working or whatever you received. Asking that everything that come back with you bless not only you, but all of those affected and attached to your Akashic field, anyone else who might be blessed by this. Riding those waves gently back into this body, through the crown. Good, and I don't want you opening your eyes yet. I just want you to feel the other. Feel what's new. Aminu sepsa. Aminu sepsa. Aminu sepsa. Aminu sepsa. And ever so gradually opening your eyes. Coming back in to the D of now, to the now of now. I can tell you that my third eye feels all prickly. My crown feels like I've been scalped. Bow out now if you need to, because you need to stay in this. We just have a couple of more closing out pieces for today. Ooh, I didn't get it. It's okay. Must not have needed to be here. There's another name of Isis that she wants you guys to have before our closing ceremony. But I want to speak briefly to the coup. My own love affair, and I feel like I've spent years chasing the coup, trying to understand what it meant or means or is. But as it pertains to our conversation today, the coup is a subatomic, subnuclear force. Cool. The coup is also a force of nature. What I heard as you guys were coming back is with that Shaka tea, you might actually find that you can remember things differently. Like you were almost so full of ideas and thoughts that they were very clear as you were up there at Sept. You didn't need to write things down to remember because you did Shaka tea. You've got an expanded capacity to remember. Cool. See if I'm right. I don't know. Sahusihu suhusa. I've been singing it for days. I can't tell you what it means. Sahusihu suhusa. But it's a way of, yeah, I can. Okay, fine. Great, thanks. Sahusihu suhusa. It feels just like an extra. It's not sahusihu suhusa. It's so cute. Likna ilikno kupsanai. It's a way of invoking and turning on thank you, the senses. So the senses, the elements are inside of you. They're what creates and makes you, right? You're made of stardust. You probably know that now. We have these elements, the seckers, the building blocks inside of us. They turn into forces as we know how to work and create with them, which is what we've been playing in. And then the way that we understand the outside world is through the senses. Smell, taste, smell, taste, touch, sight, hearing. So anytime you're in unfamiliar terrain, sahusihu suhusa, sahusihu suhusa, that's going to be the way that you turn on, like, I want to smell things, I want to taste things, show me where I am, I don't understand what's happening. It will be a way of, oh, hello. Heard. It will be a way of taking form. It will be a way of informing your senses to begin creating and structuring the elements. Akasa is the matter and the antimatter. Akasa is created through each of these gateways and temples of you being turned on. You directly affect and create reality because you know how. Sahusihu suhusa. See if you can get that earbug out of your head. Good luck. Precious one. Thanks for saying yes to the journey. To the ride of your joy and your power. To accessing power beyond what's known here. That you've been trained and initiated in. To be the shaman of a new era. To be the dreamer of a new dream. I'm so grateful to have been on this journey with you. I love you.